Now, as more brutal attacks on women have made headlines in recent days, South Africans have taken to social media to express their anger. Police Minister Bheki Cele has been heavily criticized for his heavy-handed approach in dealing with lockdown regulations and a lack of vigor, some would say, in handling gender-based violence cases. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa, you'll remember, has promised ministerial interventions with communities to deal with the issue of gender-based violence, while Cele says GBV is a societal problem. No arrests have yet been made in the murder of Tsegofatso Pule, who was 8 months pregnant when her stabbed body was found hanging from a tree. That's just one issue out of a whole range of issues that we're hoping to tackle with the Minister, who joins us now on the line. Minister Cele, thanks very much for your time. On the AM report, let me start by asking you this question, Minister. It's a whole new world in light of COVID-19. How has it changed the way you run the very important portfolio of policing in South Africa?
Well, indeed, it's the difficult times, new times, as you say. The question of the COVID-19, as it started, it should be level 5, level 4, and we're at level 3 now. It should have been easier sometimes to enforce, as is the duty of the police to enforce the law, when people at the time could not go out, when there was no movement of alcohol, when people were not at work. So we are adapting to the situation as the police. You know, more people are moving now, but there are those that they still have not to move, those that they have no reason to move, not going to work, not going to school, not going to buy anything. We still police that. The alcohol thing, people they buy it now, but they don't have to abuse it. We still find people drinking on the cars. I was on the roadblock over the weekend. People, they still drink on the cars that they're not supposed to do. They're supposed to drink at home. And then, as we deal with all those things, there is in this surge of this ugly gender-based violence.
So, Minister, what's your response to criticism that you and your department have received in terms of the vigor with which you approach policing of lockdown regulations? For example, cigarettes, when you can buy alcohol, versus the vigor with which the police respond to gender-based violence cases. For example, Minister, someone on Twitter saying over the weekend, if you are raped, call the police and tell them you know of someone who has illegal alcohol. That's a sure way of getting them to respond to a rape victim.
Well, I don't think that is fair. As the cases of the gender-based violence, as the South African police, I think we are responding. As we have said at the preamble, that we have raised the matter as a societal matter. But to show that the police are responding, the President made a call about 2 days ago, especially on the cases of young Solo Pule and Maledi. But there is a list of other names that police have responded. If I'm not mistaken, since June, beginning of June, June 1st, we have seen the killing of Alicia Kochi, 27, in Western Cape, Nompumelelo Chaga in Eastern Cape, Nodisa Kwajela in KZN, Sanel Siwe, Mfaba and Evelyn Tikok that was killed yesterday morning. All those people already that have committed those crimes have been arrested by the police. This is within this June, and most of them will be around June 5, except Pule, that we know who are searching. We know which area around. We have found the proper information and all that. And Evelyn, that was stabbed by the boyfriend early morning yesterday, who ran away. But police have responded to all these I'm mentioning, including a 7-year-old Renee, who happens to be the daughter of Alicia. We have arrested those people. Police have arrested those people. It will be within a day or two. So I don't find it very fair to say then police are not acting, because beyond arresting those people, I don't know what else police can do except taking those people to the system that they must go for trial and they go to prison.
Yeah, because prevention comes to, it then talks to the societal issues around preventing gender-based violence cases, not only responding to them when they do happen.
Is exactly what I'm saying, that becomes a societal problem. That becomes the issue of all of us as friends. That becomes the question of the communities, the question of the families themselves and all that, to raise the issue, to raise the alarm. And I agree with you, if it is reported, because most of the time these things would be suspected before they happen. When they tell you when something has happened, what has been happening, it would have been much better if that is reported in that particular time. All these cases I'm mentioning here are boyfriends, except one that is the husband, but all of them seems to be the people well known to the victims, which should be really difficult for the police to police people that have relationships, other husbands, boyfriends, or known. So that's why I was saying it's for all of us to make a call when they suspect that something there is amiss, to tell somebody next to you, and somebody tells next to you until the police, they know and they see. I fully agree. Reaction doesn't help much. People are gone. It would be better if all of us work on prevention.
Yeah. Minister, I want to just ask you about the lockdown regulations again and how they are being implemented by the police. For example, the ban on the sale of alcohol, we know, has now been lifted under level 3 of the lockdown. You can purchase alcohol Monday to Thursday, 9 to 5. But we've now also heard from the police that if you're found with alcohol in your possession outside of those hours, that is also an offence. Now, Minister, we know when it comes to the law, if the law does not explicitly say this is an offence, it means that is not particularly an offence. So just in terms of how vague the police have been in terms of how lockdown regulations in this issue around alcohol is implemented, do you think that this contributes to how law enforcement and your police officers themselves are many times unsure of how to implement the lockdown regulations?
Well, I hear that. The alcohol sales, as you have said, Monday, Thursday, 9 to 5. And then you go and you use it in your house. Yes. Most of these people talk about of transporting alcohol. Most over the weekend on the roadblocks, that alcohol is not sold.